As of the time I am recording this, Norfolk Southern is allegedly seeking to merge with Union Pacific. This deal, if it goes through, will create the first 21st century transcontinental railroad across the United States. For now, these are just talks and no actual action has been taken besides what I've already mentioned. With that being said, this is subject to change in the following days, depending on when I get this video out. Today, I want to discuss the potential ramifications of Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern merging into a singular entity, because quite frankly, I can't make heads or tails of the entire situation. So let's start off with the obvious. Norfolk Southern has been struggling ever since the East Palestine derailment, and this has caused them to try and make back profit by any means necessary, including selling some of their lines off, and now presumably are in talks with merging into Union Pacific. This has caused some people to worry about the Union Pacific merger becoming a monopoly on the entire freight rail industry within the United States. This has also caused worry among many workers that are in both of these companies that the combined Union Pacific will lead to many personnel and operators losing their jobs, according to this Reddit comment I found. Now, I usually try and cover both sides of the story here, and that's what I'm going to do. Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern becoming one company becomes really similar to what happened during the late 60s with Penn Central. To be brief as possible, Penn Central was basically an amalgamation of several failing railroad companies with opposing views of how everything should have been ran, which eventually led to the federal government swooping in to do a sort of soft nationalization of both passenger and freight rail services, creating Amtrak and Conrail respectively. Now, how is the Penn Central merger and the Union Pacific one similar? And the answer is pretty simple. Both companies were essentially consolidated into one massive company that couldn't keep itself afloat because of the reasons I stated before. Union Pacific is not there yet, but they do run the risk of having such a thing happen to them. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, so we very well could see a Penn Central 2.0 situation, which is not good for anyone involved. People's jobs getting cut, competition slowing down, the usual stuff that comes with a rail monopoly. However, there is a silver lining to this whole ordeal. Many have said that this decision to essentially use the Fusion Yu-Gi-Oh card on both companies is essentially just nationalization, but privately done. Which means that this would give more fuel to the nationalization fire that is starting to burn up after Conrail got split up in the divorce between CSX and Norfolk Southern, back in 1999, I believe. Also, as a side tangent, apparently CSX also wants in on this deal supposedly. So either we get a huge-ass monopoly in the United States that rules over all the rails and only serves to benefit shareholders, or we get a much bigger Conrail in this timeline if the merger goes down the route of the Penn Central, and we have a giant-ass Conrail in the process, not just in the Northeast, but also in the Southwest as well, which is going to be fucking hilarious to see if that happens. Truth be told, I have no idea which one of these cases is the most likely to become a thing, but remember, they are still in talks, so this deal could very well fall through in the coming days. With that being said, what is your opinion on the potential merger? Sign off in the comments, and I'll see you later. Peace.